Winter is creeping into my Minecraft hardcore world. The rivers are starting to freeze and my crops are starting to die. So today I'm building a huge greenhouse with automatic villager farms and a huge tree of life to make sure that everyone in my world has food for the winter. But first we gotta start off with a nice even flat ground in a nice open area so we can actually build this thing. So this is where I'm gonna be building the greenhouse. I thought it'd give me a lovely view from my front door, and I'm gonna be building this thing out of a block I haven't really used before. If you remember, a while ago I cleared out a trial chamber and I got a ton of these oxidized copper blocks. So with glass and these, we're gonna hopefully make something that looks really pretty. So let's figure out a shape that we want with all of the glass and the big dome in the middle, and after that I'll figure out how I want to place around all the oxidized copper so that we can make it look more structured and not just like a big glass circle. Okay, this is what I have for the big glass dome in the middle so far. I think this looks pretty good and I love the height as well. I was gonna go a bit higher, but I think it's good right where it's at. Obviously ignore all the floating dirt and stuff, but I do have to add all the copper and everything. But before I do that, I'm just gonna do the sides here and round those out and make them a bit shorter than the dome in the middle, and hopefully it should all look good once it's done. We now have this nice shape to work with for the greenhouse. Like I said, I'm gonna be using these waxed oxidized copper blocks that I haven't really used in a build before, at least not too much. Something that I really want to do is arches along these longer walls. I think this is like 33 along, so maybe if I do like a 5-block gap in between, it'll look good. I kind of really wanted to end on that block and start on the last one, so let's see what spacing would work here. I think if I have one big one in the middle with 3 arches on either side, that would work. I could even do like 2 bigger arches on both the sides, but we'll see how 3 works for now. So just to visualize, all of these are gonna go upward here, pretty much up to about here-ish. And they're all gonna connect at the top with a layer of copper, just like this. And then I'm gonna do like archways in the middle of those, and hopefully that should look good. And since there's such a big gap here in the middle, maybe this can be an entryway into the greenhouse or something. I'll leave it open for now so I can like figure that out, I suppose. I think my big concern is gonna be the corner pieces here. I'm not quite sure how to do arches there, but I'm sure we'll find a way. We can kind of just play around and see how it goes. I think instead of trying to do it all at once, I'm just gonna try to figure out what this side is gonna look like so that I can repeat it everywhere. That might be the best play here. I'm actually thinking maybe if I make these bigger, so if I just do 1 in the middle, it should be 5 on either side, and I think that'll look way better than what we had before. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really build like huge builds really or anything like so nice looking. I don't really build things that are too like detailed or big, so this build is kind of out of my comfort zone. Also, I have no plan for this build. Like, I have no outline or anything. I'm kind of just making this up as I go and hoping by the time it's done it'll look semi-okay. Yeah, I like that way better. Okay, let's try to work on some of the arches that I've been wanting to do. I have some of these warped logs that I have left over from my house build, and there's a new block that I haven't really played around with yet in the game called a shelf. And lucky for us, when you strip down these warped wood and when you make these shelves and you place them against each other, they kind of blend in really well. Now, unfortunately, there are no oxidized copper stairs, but there is cut copper stairs that I'm gonna use. So let's come up here and make a little design. I kind of want maybe a shelf, then a trap door, then a stair block. Then I want to do a half slab there and a block on top, and I think that makes a really cool archway. If we imagine those going across, I think it'll make a nice pattern. So let's just repeat the same arch going across the entire way here so it all looks perfect. And the one in the middle is gonna look a little strange, but it's okay. Okay, I did it on the other side as well. And what I was thinking is maybe instead of just having those like straight down copper legs, what I could do is come up here. I could do something like this with lightning rods and copper fences. You know, like that kind of, oh. Ooh, see, I don't know if I like that. That looked different in my head. It looked more shapely in my head. Wait, hold on. Idea. Okay, I think that looks a little bit better. It might look a bit too outlandish. I don't know. Also, of course, we have to wait for these to oxidize, so that won't be how they look like the whole time. I'm just gonna repeat this across, and if I like what I see, I will keep it. I wish there was like a copper wall I could use, you know? I feel like that would make this more shapely, but I mean, it doesn't look terrible. Okay, I like this. Me reacting to me lying. No, I actually do like this. I think I'll keep it, and if I change my mind about it later, or if you guys hate it, I'll change it. Like I said, we have to wait for them to oxidize to really get the vision. So while we're waiting for that, let's go up top, and I'm gonna just see how I want these to connect across. So I know for sure that I want one right here, straight down the middle for a design that I want to do. I want this one here, and then either I could pick the connecting ones on the inside arches or the outside. I think let's do the inside arches. So we're gonna break this and just bring this up here and have this going across. So that'll connect across like that. And I think I really love that. I'm gonna do a little design here, and it's not gonna be anything fancy. I just kind of wanna do a little thing with copper half slabs and stuff. Okay, just kind of like this sorta I thought would look cool. Then once again, we're gonna come in with a fence and a lightning rod. It's sort of like a similar thing I did on the roof of my house too, but with flower pots. I'm debating if I should do flower pots for the top of this one. You know what? That might kind of look cute actually. Maybe I should go get some. Would the lightning rod and a flower pot be just like a little too much? I mean, it's my build, right? I guess I can do whatever I want. Oh yeah, that does kind of feel too tall. So you know what? We'll just remove the lightning rod and we'll keep the flower pot. Now that I kind of know what I'm doing for like all the arches and the copper pieces on these big sides of the dome, I'm just gonna go in on the other side and copy exactly what I've done on this side, but over there, so that we can start really focusing on the design that I want to do for the dome. And here we have both sides done with all of the copper detailing on it. I think after seeing all the copper oxidize on the rods and the bars, I really do like this design that I went for. I also did go ahead and do the corner bits here. I think it looks a tad bit awkward when you look too close, but far away, I don't think you can really notice it. So I like it. Now comes my favorite part, which is the big dome in the middle. Just like the rest of this build so far, I have no clue how I'm gonna build this. Let's actually start this by going up top, and we're gonna do a base layer of copper starting right here. I'm gonna do a similar thing that I did with the sides of the dome, and I'm just gonna do like a basic skeletal shape of what I think that I want this to be, and then we'll go back through and add a bunch of detail, because y'all know I'm very indecisive, and whatever I build at first is probably not what it's gonna be at the end. So we'll have the basic like 4 lines going on the dome that everyone has in their world, I assume. And from here, girl, I got no clue. Let's toy with what it would look like if we had copper on the long stretch of the dome here. You know what? That looks fine, I think. I'm still debating. I think I want that block to go up too. Like this one right on the corner. Oh yeah, it lines up perfectly. I'm just now realizing I do believe that this is the biggest build I've done in this world so far. I don't know that like my house or the gas or anything have quite this scale of build. I love it though. Like I love building bigger things. I'm kind of living for it, honestly. I like this so far. I don't think I'll be adding any other like lines going down. I think this is the perfect amount for me. There's also the problem of having an entrance here to go inside of it, and then maybe I can do something to make this part not look as awkward. You know what I could do is just add copper going here. Like that? Would that look weird? That kind of does look weird, honestly. Does it though? I mean, it's not terrible. You know what? Let's just do it on the other side and see if I like it there. And then we can compare both sides together, I suppose. Okay, yeah, I don't hate that at all. It does look the tiniest bit awkward, but if you're not paying attention, you're not really gonna care, I suppose. From far away, it still looks good. So you know what? I'm not mad at it. Let's do the detailing, but we'll start on this side so that I know what to do over there. Mostly because there's a natural little scaffolding here and I don't want to have to build dirt all over my world again. Oh, I love this little combo so much. I'm so smart. Mind you, the most basic combo anyone's ever done in Minecraft, please. And then we'll do something like that. And maybe we can have like a lantern just hanging down there or something. It looks fine. You know, I could use, there's copper lanterns now that I could try to make. I don't know if I will, but that's an option. We'll see how I feel. I like this here though. I'm gonna do it over here as well. While I'm up here, let's just try to tackle the corner issue that I have. So what I did down at the bottom was I kind of just did a copy of like that little design there on the corners. I mean, it's very simple, but I think it's kind of effective as well. I just kind of did like that. And then it just sort of looked rounded as it went around. Maybe I will just do that then. And then I don't have to worry about doing anything more intricate. Up here, I do want to put a lightning rod at the very top. Maybe I'll just do that or something, but I wish it was like bulkier at the bottom. I did a similar thing with my flag over here. Like it has a wall and a fence and stuff. Wait, you know what might look cute here? Hold on. Idea just sprung. What if I also did some more of the flowers here? Well, that's the good thing about ideas. They don't always work out, do they? I feel like I can make this cute. Hold on. Let's not dismiss it entirely before I've even tried. So yeah, let's dismiss that idea. Actually, you know, we tried and that's what matters here. Okay. Oh my God. Yes, it's all coming together. I don't get credit enough for how genius and creative and how much of a visionary I am. Like, I feel like you guys just don't really see it like I do. And it's crazy. No reference, no pictures, no playlisting, no Spotify. Like this was for the arts. Okay. Obviously, the only thing missing from all of this is some lighting and probably a few more finishing touches that I haven't touched on yet. So what I'm gonna do now for a bit is I'm just gonna go around and add a few details here and there to make it pop a bit more. I'm also gonna make these long straights of the oxidized copper match the arches as well. And I'll come back to you when I have that done so we can get started on the inside together. And a few hours later, we now have the entire detailing of the greenhouse done. I think it's so pretty. I love how it kind of glows with my shaders. So I ended up using sea lanterns to light the thing because it was pretty dark. And then what I did for the arches was I replaced the iron bars with this copper lantern. I thought they looked kind of cool, honestly. It kind of gives this like weird, like glowy gradient effect almost that I like. And I just did that all around and even up there as well. And then I did something different for the doors. I have really been loving this shelf block. So I put those here and I also put some blocks inside of the shelf block to like look more, I don't know, like bolted, I guess, if that makes sense. I did 3 doors, one at the entrance and one to each of the little side dome areas. Just really loving how this looks, honestly. Now, of course, it's time to do the interior, which I have a plan for. Now, the interior is going to be quite interesting. The entire time I've been living in this world, I've had to hand pick my crops and break them and replant them. So with this new greenhouse, I am going to start automating the process. It's going to be in a little bit of an unorthodox way though. So let's just dig out an area here. And something I just learned is that water actually saturates the ground in a 9x9 area, which is crazy. So we're gonna dig out a 9x9 area just like this, and we're gonna place a water block in the middle of all of it. And look at that, it's actually making the ground stay tilled. In order for my master plan to work, we're actually gonna be using the power of villager farming, which is something I haven't really done before, but apparently it's a really efficient way to get your crops all farmed. So we're gonna try it out. So we're gonna have this farm layout here, and then we're gonna have to build around it. And I'm opting to use leaves here because the tutorials that I'm following for this are kind of very like using just whatever blocks that they have to build this stuff. And I kind of want mine to look really pretty. So I'm gonna use leaves and I'm gonna decorate the outside. Now we have this made. We're gonna make a wall here as well and then dig down in the middle. This is quite a simple build, honestly. I'm really hoping that this works. One thing about me is I'm kind of a stickler for always doing things like the old Minecraft way instead of updating and doing things new. So I'm hoping that like this is a step toward that. Now all this water should flow on through here, and we should have a little area like that. Basically in the middle here, there's going to be a villager, and I'll show you kind of what's going to happen once I finish building this, but villagers are going to be on either side and they're going to plant and grow the crops, and then the villager in the middle is going to try to grab them, and then when they go to throw the crops, it'll fall into the water and be put into this chest here. So now that the actual building part is done, I now get to do the fun part of picking which crops I want to grow in here. And I don't know if you could tell, but I do eat a lot of potatoes. So my farm is mostly gonna consist of potatoes and carrots, mostly because I don't really use the bread in the game all that much. So we're just gonna grab as many of these as we can and go plant them inside. Okay, now is the hard part. I gotta try to get some villagers inside of here. Luckily, I know of a few that have nothing going on in their lives that I can just pluck away from their homes and put to work. There should be a village over this way, just beyond the spruce forest here, that I can steal some of these guys from. And you may be thinking, Nova, how are you gonna get the villagers from there to there? Well, I have installed a mod called Mob Lassos, so I should be able to just grab them. Oh, farmer must accept a contract first. A contract? Oh, okay. A kind person on YouTube just told me that villagers have to accept a contract and they might come with you. So this is going to be interesting. It needs an ink sac, a feather, paper, and an empty bottle to craft. Allows picking up villagers in an emerald lasso. Leveling up increases the chances to accept. Okay, so I could probably do this better with a villager that I've traded lots with before. And that villager would be right over here, all the way in this spruce biome. I have traded, one would say, way too much with this guy in here. So hi, would you accept this? Oh, yay! You're mine. And also, this is getting broken. Yeah, now I should be able to just put you in here and you'll become a farmer, I hope. Oh, you're still a cartographer. That's not good. Sir, your home was destroyed. I'm gonna leave him here. I think he's far enough away to lose his job at some point. I might just have to like wait a sec. So let's actually try going to this village and let's just find an actual farmer villager who can already do what I want him to do. Well, you know what? This would be even better. Oh, excuse me. Whether you like it or not, one of you is going to come with me. No shade. Let's go. You should at least love to farm. There you go. And now we just need one more. I mean, there's gotta be one. Just one, right? Oh, wow. Oh, that's a cartographer. Oh, wait, you know what? I will take you. I think they just had a baby and now I'm taking them away. Oh, she's mad. We gotta go. We gotta go. I took her man away after she just got pregnant. That is insane. So now I can actually show you in action what's going on. You can see this guy and this guy are harvesting the crops, and then they're gonna try to throw it at this guy. But what'll happen is that it'll fall into the water and down into this chest. I'm hoping now that all the crops have started growing, that will get on the move. Okay, while they are getting to work, I did sort of want to decorate this area to be less of a random box. I kind of just want to sprinkle some trees around and get some bushes going just to make it feel more full and like this area has an actual purpose other than, well, this. So I'm going to use some flowering azalea and just plant some of those trees around because I really love these trees. Even though they're kind of big and blocky, it's fine. Ooh, that did not have the intended effect. Okay, let's just remove this. Why don't we? Get out of here. See, this place is already looking way better, but I am gonna go ahead and add in some pathing going around. I want to make a path just going around the back side here. I will remove this chest in a second, but just going along this way in case like I, or if anyone comes to visit my world, want to come in here and chill for a sec, I'm gonna build a little thing here where we can just like sit and appreciate the greenhouse, you know? At the back here, I'm gonna build a little structure. I'm gonna build a swinging bench. Time for story time with Nova. Oh my gosh. When I was a kid 90 years ago, I would always go to my grandma's house and she had this swinging porch bench and I was in love with that thing. Like that was like I was always on that no matter what time of day, no matter where I was, somehow I was on that swing. So I kind of want to build one here as a reminder of that one. Oh yes, I love this. Oh my god, it's so cute. Hello, thank you to the person on Google who I saw this design from. I'm also gonna put like these here. I feel like would look cute. They did berry bushes in their design, but I'm gonna do azalea. I think that would fit me way better. Now, just a few more finishing touches in here, and then we can move on to the final step of the greenhouse. We are going to come up here to the top, and I want to build some hanging flowers and like a hanging garden type of vibe. Okay, respectfully, I decided I was too lazy to put anything there, but I did make another one and I made it look kind of overgrown, which I think really adds to the look. So I am pretty happy with this. Now let's check in on our crops and see how those are doing. Oh, glorious, glorious. The farmers are putting their pharmacy into this greenhouse, okay? Okay, now that this area is pretty much done, all I have to really do is mimic that, but on this side. And then we get to work on the fun part, which is the thing I'm going to build inside of the dome right behind me, which I haven't talked about yet, but I'm really excited for. So give me a bit while I work on this side. And 90 days later, this is finally done. It's pretty much identical to the other side. I did just change the lanterns that were in the farm to match the copper ones that were around the place. So I think it looks a bit better and more cohesive. I also added a bunch of spore blossoms everywhere. I thought those would look good having all the green particles floating everywhere, especially with the falling leaf textures that we have now. It just makes it feel more atmospheric, which I love. But now is the final part of this whole greenhouse build, which is the middle bit here. I am planning to build a huge towering azalea tree right in the middle of this glass dome as the centerpiece to this build. So I'm first gonna start off by making a little circle in the middle here. This is gonna sort of act as a center kind of island that the tree is going to sit on. And then I'm gonna add a layer of water going around it I thought would look good. But for now, this circle is where the tree is going to be. Now, I'll be honest, I am not very good at making custom tree builds. I think that's probably one of my weakest things about my building in Minecraft. So This is gonna be more of an experiment just to see if I can actually do it. I'm gonna sort of model this after its smaller counterpart, the actual flowering azalea tree that we have in the game. It's kind of a little bit wonky and lopsided, which I love, but it's a bit confusing on what the actual shape is. It's not very consistent across the trees, like say a normal oak tree or birch tree would be. So I kind of like this for the bottom of the trunk portion. And then I think I want to make it maybe curve to the right a little bit. We love a little bit of curve, honestly. Oh yeah, I kind of like this shape. It's kind of wonky, but what I wanted. I think this side could use a bit of cleaning up, but for the most part, I think this is the shape I will be going for. But let's clean this up because it's a little out there, girl. And then I need some branches here, so maybe one going out this way and then one that way and one on the top. I don't know why I'm asking you because I'm gonna do it anyway, but we'll see how this looks. I like it. One day I'll get really better at building trees, I promise. So we'll just deal with this for now. And, you know, one day, come back to my channel. I'm sure I'll have gotten better. You know what I could do to shape this out a bit more is I could get some spruce wood. We could just do like that and just, you know, make the tree have a bit more of a shape. Especially the branches could use this. So we'll just put those on there. Oh, wait. This actually makes the tree look so much better, please. Okay, now that I have the trunk shape pretty much down, I just gotta add all the leaves and that'll be the tree pretty much done. So I'm just gonna save you time. I'm gonna go do that and I'll be right back. Okay, 3, 2, 1, here we go. And just like that, it is done. Look how pretty this looks. I put string underneath the glowberries so they wouldn't like continually grow down. And I bone mealed them so that the berries would actually grow on them. And it makes this really pretty effect with the shaders. I love it. You just don't get the same effect with vanilla, I fear. So let's just turn those back on, shall we? It is absolutely gorgeous. And now the last part of the greenhouse, for real, is of course decorating this inside place. So let's dig out this pond around the tree. Also, all of this is kind of exposed under here now. You can see that I just built a layer of dirt on top of the ground. It's all right. Nobody will ever know. And then let's go ahead and fill this all in with some water. Gorgeous, perfect, stunning, show-stopping. I am going to add little bridges going across. Yes, I am. Thank you for asking. Oh my God, cute. I could add like little benches, I suppose. Why not? Who's gonna stop me? Let's just bone meal around to fluff it out because I don't really have that many of my own flowers at home right now. We gotta stock up at some point. So let's use the magic flower maker and we'll get it that way. Okay, cute. And then also I am gonna just put sugarcane around here because I don't have it growing anywhere else in the greenhouse. And with all this done, I do think that this is the greenhouse 100% complete as well. Honestly, I am so proud of this build. I haven't put this much thought and effort and work into a build in so long. It's been really fun getting all these creative juices out and just coming up with things as I go instead of planning it out. I do think though some work needs to be done on the outside. The outside is looking a bit bare, quite literally very bare. I think to fill out the outside, I'm gonna put down a path and put some arches to match the ones that are on the greenhouse, leading you to the front of it. And then also I should probably build a bridge from this area to the main island so I can actually access the greenhouse. And with those done, it's time to see all of my hard work come together. We've got the bridge here, which is so cute. And then these lovely arches going along the path, lit up by the sea lanterns that take you straight to the entrance of the greenhouse. You guys, I am so in love with this build. I really hope you all love it as much as I do. And it seems like if we come over here, that these farmers are already hard at work getting ready to feed the world. Anyways, guys, that is the end of my greenhouse build project. Thank you so much for tuning in if you did, and make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the build. A huge thank you to my YouTube members for supporting me and allowing me to make more frequent and longer videos. Before we end though, I do have one last surprise up my sleeve. I did something major. I did change all of the glass here to be white stained glass. I think it allows us to see the inside a bit better and just looks a bit more like mystical and mystifying, if that makes sense. I'm not really asking for your opinion or permission because I already did it. So you better like it. I think now when I look at it from my house, it gives us a much better view of the whole thing. Anyways, that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to tune in next time to see what I get up to in my hardcore world.